Welcome back to Fruits of the Spirit. Today's question is, why did Jesus die a common criminal? To start this video off, before Jesus Christ was killed, he was beaten, spit on, and mocked by the guards like he was some kind of houseboy in Matthew chapter 26, verses 67 to 68. He was then hanged on a tree with 2 criminals beside him, which was the custom for those who went against the law. They were also hanged in front of the people. You're shamed to add to your death sentence. If we take a look at Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 22, it was stated that if someone were to be sentenced to death, they'll be hanged on a tree. But why, however, did Jesus Christ go through all that as well? Since we all know that he committed no sin according to 1 Peter chapter 2 verses 21 to 22 and Isaiah chapter 53 verse 9. Let's take a look at it. Well, one of the reasons why Jesus Christ could have faced such a fate was to fulfill Scripture. It was stated in Mark chapter 15 verses 27 to 28 that Scriptures were fulfilled when he was numbered with other criminals. And we see that it was stated earlier in the Old Testament in Isaiah chapter 53 verse 12. And how about we look at that? Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death. And he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. And continuing, another point I found was that Jesus Christ died a criminal because the people who ordered him to be killed hated him. He was exposing them left and right, as we see in places like Matthew chapter 15 verses 1 to 14, and Luke chapter 13 verses 14 to 17. And how about we read verse 17 of the last few verses? And when he had said these things, all his adversaries were ashamed, and all the people rejoiced for all the glorious things that were done by him. The Pharisees and the Sadducees didn't like being exposed for the empty lives that they were living, so when they had the opportunity to disgrace and kill this man, they took it with open arms. But that is not all. Jesus Christ also said many things that people felt were abominable. If we take a closer look at the book of John, we'll see many instances of people getting mad at Jesus Christ because his teachings conflicted with their traditions. Now, an interesting passage is John chapter 5 verses 1 to 18, and we see here that Jesus Christ healed a man on the Sabbath day, which already made the Jews mad. But then Jesus Christ called God his Father. While all these things are true and good, the Jews didn't believe it, and to them it was blasphemy. They called him a devil, a madman, a blasphemer, and even concluded that killing him was necessary. This is also the reason why they would rather release the prisoner, Barabbas, instead of Jesus Christ. When Jesus told the Jews that God had begun to do miracles among the Gentiles because of their sin, they got so mad that they wanted to throw him off a cliff there and then, in Luke chapter 4 verses 28 to 29. And how about we look at exactly what was said in those passages? And all they in the synagogue, when they heard these things, were filled with wrath, and rose up, and thrust him out of the city, and led him onto the brow of the hill, whereon their city was built, that they may cast him down headlong. But while their acts were still unjust, Jesus Christ dying as a common criminal showed us an example of the persecution every Christian will face in their lives. And of course, lucky us, it won't be as bad as Jesus Christ's persecution, but it will still be there. But one thing we can keep in mind is that no temptation that we will face will be something that we cannot handle, as Paul told us in 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 13. And I personally think that would be a wonderful verse to end off on. There hath no temptation taken you but such as is common to man, but God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. And that just about concludes it for the answer to why did Jesus die a common criminal? If you liked my content and would like to see more, then please consider subscribing, liking, and ringing that notification bell so you'll be back here when I post again. Have a great day and see you soon.